told me yesterday.
Well, I told you yesterday.
Uh-huh.
All right, turn it on.
I did. It's on.
Well, where am I? Am I supposed to? What?
You don't have to talk right into it.
You don't? But I got to talk kind of off like that.
Yeah, that's where it goes in right there.
Well, now, wait a minute.
It'll go in.
How do I stop and start it?
That's the stop button right there.
Which one?
That one.
That one.
Uh-huh.
And this is the start then.
Well, both of these are. You have to push them both down.
This one is the stop. This one is the stop.
Uh-huh, that one's stop.
And this is the start.
These two are right. But it's okay. We can just let it run. We've got 3 more tapes. We've got lots of tapes. We can just let it run.
My most attractive niece from over in Alabama is on a visit to my home. She has asked me to tell her some of the legends, and some of which are legends and some of which are truths about the Indians and such like in times past. I have made a kind of a hobby of studying the Choctaw Indians in this part of the country.
Just forget it's there. Just forget it's there. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about what?
This. Just forget it's there. Go on.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I got to know it. I got to take time on that. Now, see, I got that. I shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow,
it's okay.
She and I had a conversation yesterday on a trip over to Winston County, in which I told her some of the things I had found out about the Choctaw tribe of Indians in this section of the country. I have read some Mississippi history, some books, and and found out in other ways how the Choctaws got here. I have an article in Mr. John A. Tyson's History of Noxubee County in which I put an article on the origin of the Choctaws.
Mm-hmm.
The Choctaw Indians were originally, according to my best information, a large tribes somewhere west of the Mississippi River,
Mm-hmm.
where they were operated, or where they lived rather. The land got worn out, the game was killed out, and they were in dire straits and decided it was best to move to a more attractive land. They didn't know which way to go, but they had a chief that evidently had some magical power, and he, in company with some of his other chiefs, cut a pole and endowed it with some supernatural powers. A pole was supposed to be set up. They were going to move to this new land, and the pole was supposed to be set up each night, and they were to travel in the direction in which it leaned the next morning. And they followed this pole a long way. Nobody knows just what the course they followed was. But anyhow, it is reported that they came to a big road, and they were west of the Mississippi. We presume this to be the Mississippi River.
Mm-hmm.
And they crossed it, and somewhere along at this time, the tribe got so big until it couldn't. In other words, it was too unwieldy, so they divided it up. They had two chiefs in the tribe. One was named Chata and the other one Chickasha. they give Chickasha half of the tribe and they gave him 1 day's march while Chickasaw stayed put. He didn't move. And then he took up 1 day's march behind Chickasaw. After so long a time, they came to a beautiful land where the streams were full of fish, full of clear water, and game abounded. And they liked it, but they camped one night, and Jada camped on the west side of a great river. I mean, a good sized creek it was. And night it came a terrible rain. Charter was on the other side. Charter resumed his march. Chickasha couldn't get across the creek with his tribe. So Charter got 3 days' march ahead of the rest of them. And also, Charter had the sacred pole. Mm-hmm. And the morning that all this happened, when the water got up, they found the pole sitting right straight up. And that was a signal that they would have stopped. That's where they were going, where that pole straightened up. Well, it was then 2 or 3 days before they could get a messenger across that flooded creek to tell Chickasha what had happened. And Chickasha therefore got 3 days march ahead of Charter. Charter camped permanently right where he was. Chickasha camped about 3 days ahead. And that was up on Tombieville Road, close to where Columbus is now. That country was occupied by the Chickasaw Indians, taken evidently from Chickasha. And there they abode. It was also a part of the legends of the beliefs of some of the Choctaw Indians that if they left the bones of their ancestors exposed to just anybody came along, they would not go to the happy on ground. They would be unhappy in the hereafter. So the chief had a big confab with the holy man with the Indians. And they decided that they better put the bones in a permanent resting place. They put them in a big pile right out in front of where we think the camp was. And they covered it with birch bark. And they covered it in turn with a layer of clay earth. And I don't know the original size of this mound that they covered the bones in, but it was reputed to be 250 feet long and 100 to 200 feet high.
It's pretty big.
All of that was so little credit until yesterday. I took this niece and her mother and took them to this place, which is called in the Indian language Nanawaya. Bought them some caps with Indian insignia on it and some sweatshirts with some Indian insignia on it. And my dauntless daughter, without regard to what may happen in the way of ghosts and such like hereafter, climbed with her mother to the top of this mound and was photographed
Well, it was
running
pretty
up and
there.
down the mound, and came down then and photographed right next to it. Some of the Indians finally showed up, and she saw these descendants of the original Indian. There is also a legend that right about a short distance from this cave, from this settlement, is a cave. The Indians occupied this cave. It was on the side of a creek, and the only entrance, original entrance to it, was below the water line of this creek. And a person could go below that water line and turn up in that cave. And he was certainly well hid. And the rumor is that some of our Confederate soldiers had used it during the Civil War. But the Indians certainly did. We visited that. Both of these places have been fixed up and got restrooms and halls and such like, provided by the state of Mississippi. And we had a most enjoyable time dwelling on these things that happened in the dim past. My granddaughter, what did I say, my niece? My granddaughter, I'm corrected myself. She is my granddaughter, and I don't know where I got that niece, but I did. Just 82 years, I reckon, accounts for that. But anyhow, we went over to this cave, and I think that's one thing kind of backed her down. She went in that cage 3-4 feet, but she'd turn around and come back. She didn't go down.
Nasty in there.
Huh?
It was nasty in there.
It was right. Oh yeah, it's wet and it's unpleasant in there. She came back and we had a most enjoyable day and learned a whole lot about our former residents of our part of the United States. Now it is said that the original Indians came here about the time of Christ. I don't know about that, but there's no reason why it wouldn't be true, just like the rest of it. I really enjoyed taking them. It was a curiosity about a whole lot to her and to me too. And that is on, and that was on, what day is it?
Today's Wednesday.
This is March.
Yesterday was the 15th.
March the 15th, 1983. We hope to go back and learn some more about these interesting people. I have always found that they are our original inhabitants and deserve a lot of credit in this country. As happened, there was a lady that was quite a rank in some of the women's society who walked out one day, and there was an old Indian standing up leaning against a pole out, the light pole out by the edge of the road where their car was parked. And they got in, this old lady said, "Did you know my great-grandfather came over on the Mayflower?" And the old Indian laughed. And she said, "How dare you?" laughed at my grandfather. He said, "Huh, that ain't nothing." Said my grandpa meant to make flowers.
I like that.
Huh?
I like that.
That's a good wind-up, ain't it?
Mhm.
But they got that right there. You got it all.
Uh-huh. Well, just tell me about how they think man was created over there.
Wait a minute. They got 3 theories about that. I'm
Mhm.
gonna stick to one. That's mine.
Okay.
You said sure enough, I'm gonna stick to that.
Uh-huh.
And you can show them that pamphlet up there if you want.
Uh-huh.
But that's mine.
That's
And
yours.
it's got more. Well, you got more physical evidence
Mhm.
than the rest of it.
Mhm. Well, tell me what they think anyway.
Hmm?
Tell me what they think.
But who thinks?
You said the average ignorant Choctaw thinks that man was
Oh,
created
I
over
have them
there?
tell me that.
Uh-huh. What do they think?
Huh?
What do they think?
They think the Lord built the first man out from the clay in the mother mound. That's not what. That's what they call that, the mother mound.
Is that what that
And,
means?
I don't know what the other one is. The other one think that just a bunch of doggone Indians come in and build a mound and live on or something like that. I don't know what they did. But I have had the Indians themselves tell me that's where the first man was he made out some clay out there running the mound.
Hold on, I'm gonna go see if it took all this.
Hmm?
I'm gonna go see if it took all this.
You think what?
I'm gonna go see if it took all this.